I'm going to start off with my favorite base. It requires the least amount of resources. It's 2 foundations wide. You build from the center pillar, or center of the foundations. Make sure you build the outer walls as tall as your base so no one can look in. Also make your base on the second, or the third level I should say. So there's a 2-level gap. Anything on the second level can easily be jumped into. So you never build on the second level ever. This is similar to the first base. It is built on the inside of the foundation, so you can have this nice big outer wall. The staircase is on the center of the base, so that way you have to go through your doors just to get to the staircase. I never build staircases on the outside. This is a grid view of the foundations and walls and doorways. Just by extending the foundations 1 row in any direction, you can increase the amount of players that can access the staircase. Here are the patterns for the 3rd level 4-player and 8-player bases. As you can see, everyone has access to a staircase in some form. I stopped at 4 floors and used it as my loot room, but you can continue on by using the 3rd floor patterns and then the 4th floor patterns over again, just by putting a staircase in the center. You don't need anything more than that though, because a fall from a 4-story building will kill anyone. So it's a good stopping point. If you really wanted to, you could build doorways on the 2nd floor and put metal doors there so people couldn't try and bust in. But I prefer to just put barriers down so they can't look in, so they assume it's the loot room. And then once they've blown in, they realize that there's nothing but more walls. And they usually don't go in further unless they see your staircase. So sometimes it's a good idea to build walls or doorways, and sometimes it's a good idea to build walls. It's up to you though, and how many resources you have. When placing foundations, you need to be very careful about the height of the ground around the foundation. Foundation will not place under the ground. However, you can place the foundation quite high over the ground, as you can see here, which is quite nice because people can't jump into the base that way or look at the walls. Keeping people away from your base is always a priority. You can also build ramps against the foundations in the opposite direction, so that way people can't build against your base. It's a really good way to stop people from sieging, even with these extra walls. If you can't put a ramp against your foundations, this is your next best bet. Unfortunately, this guy didn't build the pillars in the center high enough, so I could easily build a staircase on top of them and jump on the staircase and then jump in his base. So, always be aware of what people can do to get in.